guys, I'm Lauren, wedding planner and owner of Bluebird Creative. Welcome back to my channel. If you haven't already, make sure you hit subscribe and the bell to be notified every week when a new video lands with some more wedding planning goodness. So this week I am bringing you my 5 top tips, my 5 biggest pieces of advice for wedding planning couples. Let's just dive straight on in, shall we? Okay guys, so if you've been following my channel for a while, you may have heard some of these tips, you may have missed them, you might not remember them, but I have definitely never put all 5 of these tips together in one video. So without further ado, let's jump on into these 5 tips. Now the first one comes as no surprise to those of you that have been following for a while. Know your budget. I mean, how many times do I have to tell you, you need to know your budget? Because without a budget, you are planning blind. You are literally planning blind. You won't know where to start, where you're going, in what direction. You need to know what your budget is. So work out what your budget is for you. Remember, I have done videos of this. Go check them out. You then can work out how much you can set aside for each type of supplier. This is crucial. You will then know which suppliers you can approach within your budget. It works. It's a proven system. I use it with all my clients. You can tweak your settings, but you have to know your budget. Please, 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 if you do one thing after this video today, go check out how to know your budget. Thank me later. Okay, so number 2 is do not let the stress creep in. Stress is a naughty little thing and it just sort of sneaks up on us. And I do not want that to happen to you. One of the reasons I started this channel was to help lower those stress levels for all couples out there. I know that having a wedding planner can really just sort of take the stress away, but not everybody can have a wedding planner, which is why I brought you this channel so that everybody has access to the tips and tricks to make your wedding planning easier and therefore hopefully lighten the load and lighten the stress and anxiety, because I don't want anyone suffering from that, because it is not nice. So there's 2 ways in which you can lighten that stress, lighten the load, and make your planning a little bit easier. And number 1 is don't sweat the small stuff. Okay guys, it is your wedding. You do what you want on your day. Do not worry about what other people want. I did a video last week on what your guests don't care about, so go check that out. And remember that it is about you, so don't worry about them. It is your day. Do not sweat the small stuff. If the details are just feeling a little bit overwhelming, don't do them. Make it simple, but that doesn't have to mean that it's not good. And number 2 is don't be afraid to ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. You are not expected to know everything about wedding planning. If I'm right in guessing, this can potentially be the first time you're actually doing this. You're not expected to know how to do something you've never done before. You won't know what the next steps are and you won't know when to do them. And it's okay to ask for help, whether that's friends or family, whether that's why you've landed on my YouTube channel because you want some advice, or whether you actually want the help of a wedding planner. There are so many amazing services out there. You don't even have to take on a wedding planner to help plan the whole wedding. You can discover some amazing services, and some planners will help with bespoke packages or services to just help you here and there and help with any bits that you're stuck on. So do some research and don't be afraid to ask for help, because the stress is not worth the trouble. Okay, so number 3, it's your day. You do you. I have said this before and I will say it again. Your wedding day is all about you. Don't let anybody put pressure on you. Don't let anybody make you feel that you have to conform to a certain wedding or you have to do it a particular way. The wedding day is all about celebrating your love for the person that you are marrying. And if that means that you're not following the traditions, that's okay. If it means that you want to do every single tradition under the sun, that's okay too. It's totally up to you, because it is how you want to celebrate your love with your friends and family there, or perhaps with no friends and family there. But whatever you choose, that's okay. And if those people love you, then they will understand that that's what you want for your day. So just remember, you do you. Number 4, take 5. I tell this to every single one of my clients on their wedding day. and I make sure that they do it because it is so crucial, and so many of my couples come back to me and say, thank you for telling me to do that. That was amazing and we needed that. And that is taking 5. Now, your wedding day, as we just mentioned, is about you and celebrating your love for each other. And trust me, it will fly by. I'm sure everybody has told you that it will fly by, but it really, really does just fly by. It is the fastest day of your life. So make sure that you remember to just check in with each other, to just take 5, to have a little conversation, just the two of you. Because if you don't consciously go off and do that, it won't happen. It is such a busy, hectic day. Everybody will want to celebrate with you. Everybody wants to congratulate you. They want to talk with you. They want to party with you. They want to cheers with you. But when those guests are making their way into the wedding breakfast, which can take between 15 and 30 minutes, I always grab my couples and say, go take 5. Once they finish talking to guests and they're all making their way through, just go off, just the two of you. Even if it's for a 5-10 minute walk around one of the gardens, or just step aside and just reconnect and remember what the day is all about. Talk about the ceremony, talk about what a lovely day you're having, talk about each other, just share a moment and a memory together. Because once you go into that wedding breakfast and are announced as the newly wedded couple, your day is going to whiz by. You are going to be eating, you're going to be chatting, you're going to be drinking, and then soon after that you're going to be dancing, and you're not going to know what's hit you. It's going to be amazing, and you'll be whisked off your feet, and there just won't be much time. So make sure you take that time, take 5, and enjoy each other. And finally, number 5 is the walk around. Now again, I have mentioned this in a previous video about wedding traditions, which you can check out here. And the wedding walk around is basically my version, or a modern version, of the receiving line. Now, not many of my couples tend to opt for a receiving line, and if you don't know what it is, put simply, it is a tradition where the couple and their parents will greet each of their guests as they go into the wedding breakfast, and they will shake all their hands, say thank you for coming. It's lovely. It takes ages. I mean, it really takes ages. And not everybody wants to do that. It's very traditional. And so what I always recommend to my couples is the wedding breakfast walk around. Now, if you really, really want to enjoy that band or that DJ that you've booked for the evening, you want to get your dancing shoes on and you want to party or with your friends, but you're worrying because you're thinking, I do need to speak to every guest at my wedding. I've invited them here because I want them here. I want to chat to them. I want them to know that they're loved. I want to say thank you for coming. And I totally get that. And you should do that without fail. You really, really must do that. So here's the solution. Instead of thinking, once the wedding breakfast's over, I then have to go and make sure I've spoken to everybody, and then I'm not going to be able to dance, and I want to dance. No, you will always be the first table to be served for your wedding breakfast, and there will be gaps in between each meal. So whilst you're waiting for your next course to come out, make your way around to a couple of tables. Go and speak to your friends, go and speak to your family members. Thank them for coming and have a little natter. Then make your way back to the table and sit down for your next course. And by the end of the meal, you'll have made your way around the whole room and have spoken to every single guest at your wedding. It also mixes it up, because if you're going for a traditional top table, then it is just your close family members on one side of the table, and it's not actually that easy to have a conversation. You're kind of leaning back here and you're leaning back there, or you're leaning forwards, but it's not that easy, and it mixes it up. And it also means that you have spoken to everyone. And then if you have evening guests arriving, then you've got time to speak to them and still get on the dance floor. And if you haven't and you only had day guests, then you can grab all those friends and pull them on the dance floor with you. So there you have it. Those are my 5 best tips and best pieces of advice for any couple planning their wedding. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and if you haven't already grabbed my free wedding planning checklist, then you can do so in the comments box below. Have a lovely week, guys, and I will see you next week for some more wedding planning goodness. See you later. My 5 biggest pieces of together. Said that already. If you're going for a tradition,